didn't want to make this video. I still don't want to make this video. Right now it is Sunday, January 5th, 3:39 a.m. And if you're hearing that sound in the background, that is my bathroom toilet running. I don't know how, I don't know why. I'm just a girl and all these things, and it's really just not a decent hour to get anybody to look after it. But the gag is, who gonna pay for that? Who's gonna pay this water bill? Every trickle of water, I want to bawl. I've been crying for the past hour or so because this broke me. It broke me. We are only 5 days into 2025, and I wanted so much better for myself. And not just for me, I'm rooting for everyone, and you know that. And the way the spiritual attacks are set up, I don't get it. I don't understand. And at this point, I feel like God is trying to humble me, or the devil put money on me. And I don't know, this is just some crazy bet. And I stay on the strongest soldiers list, and I really want to pass this test. I really do. So if this is it, if this is what it takes, here it is. Here I am. I don't even know what to say, where to begin. The story isn't that simple. What am I talking about right now? I don't know. My plan was, so I've been MIA for a couple weeks, right? Vlogmas and all the things, right? My plan was to lay low, gather my thoughts and feelings, and then reset. And so I was really pushing for the first Sunday, which is today, Sunday, January 5th. And so I was also preparing for the Daniel's fast. So ever since my church announced it, which is an annual thing anyways, most people know this if you're into that. And so I was preparing myself for my version of the fast. I have health issues and the sort, so I can't do the full-fledged fast, but I was going to do a full day fast, or at least from sunrise to sunset. And because I don't really have a routine, if I needed to eat in advance of that, I would have to wake up earlier. So that was to prompt me to do that as well. Here we are. I wanted to get a sound sleep many hours ago. Many hours ago, probably about 1 o'clock, I was like, okay, that's it, I'm good. And then I can't sleep on an empty stomach, so that's another one of the things. Like, I've tried fasting and all of that for many times, and it doesn't work out. I end up like on like a caffeine type of high. Just to explain what it is, I cannot sleep. And so I was like, okay, let me grab something quick to eat, because really I've been dragging it. I haven't been eating really a lot lately, and that's just probably based on the state of my emotions and whatever. And so, but I'm trying. I truly am trying. So today I actually ate really early, and then I just wasn't motivated to eat for the rest of the day. And so I probably could have been sleepier earlier, but because I didn't eat, then my body didn't get to wind down. And then even lately, I've been taking a lot of ashwagandha and putting the nutmeg in the almond milk, and I'm doing everything and anything. But as some of you may know, About a month ago, I found out that I was no longer able to return to work. So right now I'm unemployed. And over the past couple days, I put some thought into it, and I was feeling like, you know what, like, you want God to use you, you ask God to use you, you want to walk in your purpose. You've been saying that for how long? As long as you've been working at this job, in this field. And so what if this is it? I said to myself, be careful what you pray for, because you just might get it. And so I have this platform, and I was trying to figure out how to use it. And then I was saying, okay, let me start another channel and go from there. But I was really, really committed to doing that today. And so I grabbed the thing to eat. I think I ate an everything bagel, butter, details doesn't matter. And then I was ready to gather my things and go to my bed. And then I was like, what is that sound? And I had just put like a small load of laundry in the machine, but I put it to soak. So it kind of sounded like it was laundry, but I'm like, that doesn't really make sense. It shouldn't be running like that. So I'm making my way back up the stairs, and I'm just like, is that the toilet? Like, don't tell me the toilet is running. So I go to the toilet, trying to figure out the thing. You know, you turn the thing, that thing isn't there anymore. They had recently fixed it, and maybe she replaced it, and I don't know. It's not there anymore. I got my handy dandy toolbox that I know nothing really about, and I used the wrench or whatever to try to loosen, or whatever YouTube said clockwise. I did that. It didn't work. I don't know what's wrong with it. And so I don't know what to do about that. The toilet is just running and running and running. And I feel like my life is going down the drain with it. I am so tired. I am tired. I am over this. I cannot do this anymore. I do not want to do this anymore. I hate it here, and I'm really, really trying. And I said, okay, I'm gonna put up the content. Let me sing for my supper. Let me, provide some value so people are willing to sow into me. And I did that, and then no fault of anyone else's, no fault of my own. It's a process. But over the week, I'm getting even more bills and even less money. So I've run out of options. I don't have any more solutions. And yeah, beyond that, I'm homeless, and unemployed. So I don't know. But I wanted to come on today to talk about, let me just tell you where my headspace was at before I came upstairs to this. I created a whole outline because I really wanted to speak to my next steps, the next level that I wanted to go to. So talking about claiming 2025 as my best year, and preparing my glow up, and just exploring or approaching this platform beyond my clothes, and building a faith-based, Christ-centered lifestyle, and documenting my experience. But not only that, using it as a testament, and also for my personal reflection. And when the word testament came to me, it kind of shook me a little bit, like that was heavy. And I think it was just a little bit too powerful that it got shut down immediately. And one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot over the past couple days is that, because I often say, like, what does the devil want from me? Why does the devil want me so bad? Because the spiritual attacks are real. And so I almost felt like the devil is like secretly rooting for you, because he knows you have the capacity to win. It's you you doubt yourself. And so in that process, he's manipulating your thoughts against you. Because in his future, he can foresee she has this, she knows this, or whatever it is, and I'm intimidated by her full potential. I'm intimidated by what she's going to pour into the world, what seed she's going to plant. I don't like that for me and my situation, so I got to cancel her out. And that just feels like my life. I want to say lifestyle, but I don't own it. I don't claim it. This is not it. I'm not even outside. I don't do anything. I don't bother people. You see me out here on the channels, in my own comments. I am rooting for everyone. I want everyone to win because I know how bad it feels to fail. And I know the struggle. I know the struggle too well. I know the struggle too long. And I just really want to focus on the positive, and I did not want to bring the negative into 2025. I didn't. I wanted to focus on moving forward. I didn't want to shed any more light or darkness on that situation whatsoever. But here I am, and I don't know, what more do you want from me? What more do you want from me? I literally have nothing left. I lost everyone. I lost everything in 2025 in an attempt to protect my peace. And here I am, January 5th, talking to my phone because this is all I have. This is it. And what do I want from you? What do I want from you? Why should you care? What's in this for you? I don't know either. But I don't want to carry it anymore. So I'm offering it out. I don't know if God is trying to humble me. God put me on my face so I could only look up to him in 2024. So I'm doing my best going forward. Not even that sin, a variety of sin is the struggle. My biggest issue is me. We were like an hour into January 1st, and I had to rebuke myself because in no time I was back to the same negative thoughts, and I had to check myself, like, you just got here. You can't afford to think like that. You gotta do something different. And I've been pressing into that because God knows. Fortunately, unfortunately, God knows how bad I don't want to be here. I hate it here. And maybe I should stop saying that. But that's my truth. I don't get it. All I've had is compounded issues, stress, trauma, drama for the past 30 years, full 120 years for sure. Just depressed because of the people, places, and things around me that are trying to drag me down. And again, is that the devil? Because he fears my potential. So I was trying to shake it off and stand up today, later on today, and I don't have the energy. Maybe this was the message. Maybe I had to mentally prepare myself to just present this message and build going forward. What else did I want to talk about? What is the one thing you would do if you knew you couldn't fail? And how do you stand on obedience? That was the whole premise. Standing on obedience. Standing on obedience, God's business. And so I have to start from within. I'm not a perfect person. I want I am a work in progress. I feel like real Christians aren't perfect and perfect Christians aren't real, and everybody has to start somewhere. And not everybody is starting from, I don't know, like not everybody is starting from like PK pastor kid levels, right? I've been going to church forever, like my whole life. So it's not that I don't know God. It's just that I was way too distracted. And maybe that's the point too. I was just way too distracted by all of my sorrows and consumed. And so any given thing, that's the space, the mindset that I resort to. And I don't love that for me. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be that anymore. And I feel like if I pressed full 100 into God, into this season, then there is no other reason for me to doubt my circumstances. I have no close family. I have no close friends. The friendship thing is something that I felt like I also wanted to build on in a safe capacity this year. But the other part of, I feel like my trauma is just embarrassing. And I hate to trauma dump on people. And it's just like, but things just keep happening over and over and over and over again, like on a weekly basis. Like this week, I haven't felt like this bad, this low, even before today. Why I had to check myself to get here. I haven't felt like this in years. And that means I feel like I passed a level, like I passed a game stage. And so the devil doesn't want me to level up. The devil doesn't want me to get my coins. And so here come the spiritual attacks full force. I literally like ate my little snack, typed up my little outline message, closed my phone, felt like, okay, I did this, I could do this. And 10 steps later, and I cried till I was weak because I'm tired. I'm tired, and at this point, I don't even have any options. Like, I don't know. So, I don't know if I was letting go and letting God before. What is this? What more? I don't know. You tell me. Maybe that's it. Let's have a conversation and you tell me what I should do next. Because I'm lost. I'm lost in life. I'm lost. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. I hate this. I hate that I'm doing this right now. I truly do. But I feel like maybe it's a test and God is truly trying to humble me in preparation for things to come. I don't know what that looks like. But I was ready. Or maybe he knew I was fronting. Like maybe he knew I was acting like I was ready, but low-key I wasn't. And in a couple hours I was going to flop. So I know it's real. Here we are. And the way the toilet is running, it's just like every coin, something ching, 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 like every coin from my bank account is running with it. And that broke me. Because the bills are adding up. I already didn't have enough. And here we are. Why? So take the story, take my testimony. Please hear me out. Because I don't want to do this anymore. I didn't even say everything that I needed to say. I've said before, I've done a lot of posts and deletes, so some people know, some people don't. I censor myself. Protecting others, not even so much. It's just, it's heavy. It's a lot of things, and the monitoring spirits and spiritual attacks, I guess I can't allow that to hold me back anymore. So I'm humbled before you. So please, if you're my community, like you say you're my community, tell me what I'm supposed to do next. Okay, I'm back because I realized I said all of that just to say nothing. And so I really need to pass this test this time. I do. And if I laugh, that's just like a coping mechanism. I told myself from a very young age, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. I got that from Comic View somewhere. And so, yeah, that's always rang true for me. When I laugh hard. And so, yeah, I'm just laughing through the BS right now. All of that to say nothing. This very much feels like in West Philadelphia, born and raised. I'm trying to sum it up. All right, so I'm not my trauma, so I don't even want to identify with these things like this. At a young age, I was essayed by a close family member. The issue with that is that I didn't say anything, and I received a lot of like punishment and loss of privileges, and to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. And I finally spoke my truth. And as I'm just shaking my head, because as an adult, like, it's just wow. I know that, but me sharing it with others, I know it just doesn't sound good. But like, I have always been a quiet kid, and I didn't really communicate much. Wasn't really that like a mama's girl, I guess you could say. So I just didn't really communicate much or often. So there was only so much like I was going to bring to anyone's attention. And so I was tired of the consequences of someone else's actions. So I decided to tell. And this puts me at about age 10 or 11. I really have memory blocks, so I'm not entirely certain, but if I say that, then I'm saying too much. The math is definitely after 10 years old. So, but maybe I already gave it away. Whatever. So, I don't actually care. It's just, I don't care to share this right now. So when I brought my story forward, I didn't really understand what was happening, but I came across some information and I identified with it, and I decided to use those words. I don't know if I can say that here, but like, it explained to me the M word in regards to SA, and I identified with that. And so I brought it forward, but because again, I don't speak a lot, I decided to write out my feelings and my experience really. And so at that age, that's when we were starting to learn like essay format and story writing and all of that. And so I took my school paper and pencil, and I remember writing like definitely like that full, like probably 11 by 14, like double-sided, my truth. And I went to pass it on, and it was rejected. But I had already hyped myself up and convinced myself, like, no, today is the day. Today is the very last day. And because this person was also, not only was I losing privileges, but this person was also taunting me behind the scenes on a regular basis. And so I just couldn't take it anymore. And the letter was rejected, and I just had to stand up for myself and read the letter aloud. I didn't know that the other person was in the room, but I was already there. So I had to tell the story, read the paper in front of both of them. And basically like read what it said and mic drop. And what happened after that? Nothing. Nothing changed. Long story short, I still had to endure that, or just the anxiety of that, for the next 5 years in their direct company. And then also during that time, remember I'm like 10, 11, so my body still is developing and going through the whole maturing phase, and that's uncomfortable for me, but then it's also uncomfortable because I don't know what it's doing for them. So I don't know. So that was awkward for a long time, and because my family isn't necessarily that close knit, we became divided after about, I don't know, probably after a good 20 years into my life. I'm the firstborn child of the family, so 20 years in deep, my mom being the eldest, it still kept me around like my aunts and uncles for an extended period of time before anyone else came. So 20 years is a lot for me in comparison to others who are much younger and don't have that full-fledged experience. Not taking away from their experience. I'm just saying that everything was good for, at this point, the majority of my lifetime, until it wasn't, and I didn't have any answers why. It's not that this person beat this person up or whatever. I couldn't explain to you why my family was so broken. I just didn't have them anymore. But the one person I clung very close to since the beginning of time, was literally like my first best friend, was my grandfather. My grandparents are married, so my grandmother and my grandfather, my mother's parents. We don't need to get into my dad's situation at this point. I have a dad, I know my dad. I know my dad's extended family. I just don't have a relationship with my dad at this time. And so, what was I saying? I don't even know. I can't do this. My grandfather was the closest person to me. And so when the family became estranged for whatever reasons outside of my knowledge and myself, it was really just me and my grandparents and my child. I had a child very young. I had a child at just after, a few days after my 19th birthday. A few months before that, I decided to marry my baby daddy. At 18, it speaks for itself. So I was 18, he was like 20, and we were expecting a baby. So I said, why not? Because we're going to be stuck together forever anyway. That's another story for another day as well. So it was just my grandparents, me, and my child. My child's father was later deported, so we weren't in touch, we didn't have contact like that. It was just us until it wasn't. Randomly, very suddenly, my grandfather became sick. I'm getting emotional. We're reaching an anniversary in another couple weeks. if you know, you know, like grieving is a process. Some years are harder than others, and it just is what it is. And this is why I try to take my time throughout the holiday season, because it's heavy. Yes, it's my birthday and I would love to celebrate, but it's not a highlight. Birthday privileges was another one of the privileges that I would lose often, because this went on for years, right? And so I don't necessarily celebrate myself as much as I should or could. Kind of need friends to do that, but should. So yeah, it's just December, January, February is complicated. October, that's when Thanksgiving starts. So that's when Canadian Thanksgiving. So from the beginning of the holiday season, I really have to pace myself. So anyway, 1 December, he randomly gets very ill. This is from a person who is completely self-sufficient, never really sick, anything like that. Randomly sick. Have a conversation with him and another family member, and really like click, like this is real, this is happening, because I've never heard him behave and communicate like this before. Him not knowing, there's more to that too. That's my truth, regardless if no one wants to accept it or acknowledge it or whatever it triggers for them. But I believe he was trying to tell me. But anyway, I'm not sure how long he knew he was sick, if he knew at all. But basically, he was in and out of the hospital for like a couple days, a couple weeks in December into January. So he's going back and forth. They're giving him medicine. It's not working. They don't know what's wrong with him. Eventually, like, he gets to the hospital again, and they have to run more tests. And they come back and say that he has cancer. Oh, the toilet running. A few days after that, a day or so after that, it was like, they said he has stage 4 cancer and he only has a few more days to live. And that was my first major loss, on the back of having my own, how do I say this? I lost a baby. I had an ectopic pregnancy. I almost died. I lost a baby. And that was complicated. But life went on and I had to move with it. But the thing is, at the time that it happened, I was like, because a lot of things are happening to me for a lifetime, right? So I was just like, what is this? Like, why do all these things keep happening to me? Like, the next worst case scenario would be for me to lose my grandfather, because that's it. And within, what would that have been? So that was like November. So within the fall, by the following year, January, he passed away. So that's like, what, 12, 13, 14 months, something like that. Devastated, because it took me all that time to heal. So as soon as I was feeling better, we came on a year of the loss, and I just started to feel lighter, and it was boom, crash, burn. And that was the year I was also turning 30. And that's why I was so excited to get the HBC code. I wanted to gift myself something. I felt like I deserved it. Yes. All right, so he dies in a matter of days. And then the funeral, you know, death is supposed to bring people closer. It didn't do that. It brought people further apart eventually, because it was really fugazi. I don't know, people have things that they need to heal. And then just as the years went by and they didn't, I felt like it's me. I'm supposed to be angry. I'm supposed to be upset. Like, no one rallied behind me. And there's different levels to that too, because we weren't close-knit, we didn't communicate, and actually I was forbidden to communicate with my extended family. The only person that knew was my grandmother. My mom told her, she had a conversation with me at the time, and then that was it. The situation did come up years later when I was like 17, and it made me feel as though I wasn't believed by the only person who was aware of the circumstances, so I ran away from home. Like I said, nothing happened. So years and years are passing, and I'm just trying to cope. I would go, like I'm a kid, I go to school, I would pick up as much extracurricular activities as possible. I'm going to Girl Guides, I'm going to choir practice, I'm going to band. I would always work a part-time job and also try to do holiday shifts, time and a half, just so I didn't have to be in or play pretend. And I even went to night school and graduated with 2 extra credits. I'm going to whatever, just so I don't have to be in the house, or if I go home, it's just, okay, I'm ready to sleep, not eat. I don't even care to eat. I'm ready to sleep and do it all over again. And that was my routine for years, just out of survival. I've been in survival mode way too long, and I'm tired. I'm over it. I'm done. So please, please take me off the list. So he dies. I'm alone. I still have my child, but I'm a single mom, and I'm trying to make things happen. I went to school. I finished high school before I had my child, like the year before. And then I went to college, I went to university, and then I started my career. No problem. Things got complicated with me and my child's father, and that caused me to have to do a full reset, life reset, and I had to start from scratch. So I lost everything, and then I had to start all over again. Like, I lost daycare, I lost my job, my apartment, everything. Without going into details, I lost everything. And I had to start all over again, and that was hard. And I needed community, I needed family the most. I had a few people from his side, full gratitude forever, that supported, but I needed my own unit, and they didn't need me. I don't know, everybody kind of just forgot about me, and so I just continued in survival mode. And I'm trying to fast forward, I'm trying to skip through a lot of things. There's a lot more layers to it, but yeah. I was told that I am weaponizing my trauma, so I don't want to speak to too many things to impact vulnerable people without being a part of the solution, right? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I'm not just gonna throw things out there and traumatize others with my trauma, right? So, but the whole weaponizing trauma is actually a different tale. That same person that I spoke about in the previous one-on-one video violated me, and I corrected them. I don't know, to say the least. And I don't take that back for nothing. I said what I said, and it's the truth. Where is the lie? It's the truth. So, swallow it. And that was recently, right? So, it's just a constant snowball of people, places, and things, and it's just an avalanche. and I'm wrapped up in it, but I'm tired. And just for the sake of peace, I gave up everything, and then here we are. I don't know what else to do. I wanted to show up for other people, and that's kind of been a pattern. I wouldn't say it's a toxic trait, it's just my nature. Like when you've been through things, you want to lighten the load for others. You want to, like when I was working with youth or whatever, I would consider like giving them a shortcut so they don't have to take the long way around that I did, right? Because I identify with them and their issues so much. And that's another reason why it was, in this season, I had to go my separate ways from that. Maybe God believes that I gave it everything I could give, and it's time to move forward and walk in my purpose. I actually do feel a little bit lighter. Changes nothing, the toilet is still running, right? I feel a little bit lighter. I've lightened the load. I'm gonna upload this, and hopefully I'm not going to delete it. Just pray for your monitoring spirits too. This is my truth. This is my life. I can't minimize that for the sake of anybody's shame. Like if you feel a way, then that's your own personal convictions. Like you should have did right by me, and then I wouldn't have to tell this tall tale. I wish I didn't have to. I wish I didn't. I wish it never happened. Like what, let's say preteen. What preteen? But it just, that situation overshadowed unintentionally. I don't walk with my trauma. Overlapped my whole life and my relationship dynamics because of on one level it's irresponsibility, and on the other level it's healing. Especially when it comes to my child. I had the child very young and in a whole separate series of trauma, and I was in the depths of my trauma while raising my child, and I wasn't able to give my everything. I didn't have the capacity. It's been for a long time. It's been a long time since, I don't even want to say that, but like, understand, read between the lines. It's been forever, and I only had that much just to be able to show up for my child and provide the basic needs and more. They definitely came from a place of privilege and had a lot of experience and exposure and cultured. I did that. So it's not that they weren't loved. It's just that I did not have enough. And not the bare minimum, but the bare minimum in terms of what I could muster from my soul. I gave everything for the sake of them and their survival. So on a daily basis, I was just depleted. And I guess for the most part, emotionally unavailable, but not because I don't have emotional intelligence. It's because I was tapped out, and I felt too vulnerable, that going too much into my emotions and reading too much into our situation and our dynamic would have broken me. And that's it. That's the truth, that I couldn't face myself and I couldn't take on anything more, and I was still dealing with things, more new things on a daily basis. So I didn't have enough. And for that, I do apologize sincerely. Just as much as they can't take away from my experiences, I cannot take away from your experiences. but you also have to accept and acknowledge the errors of your ways as well. So now that you're an adult, you can take the time to process that. And once you've done so, then we can have a healthy conversation moving forward. But if you're not prepared to have a positive, healthy communication, then you need more time. And take all the time you need. We are who we are, regardless. I can't change that. I'm the mother, you're the child. So, about the water bill.